What's happening, everybody? Week 5 Schlabcast pick'em video coming at you. We got Thursday night Bears at Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders. The Bears are absolute trash. Justin Fields is very hot and cold. Commanders look pretty decent. Picking them at home. Jacksonville at Buffalo, and back-to-back London games for Jacksonville. They're home away from home, although they won last week there. I'm not picking them this week. The Bills are way too good. I'm picking the Bills to win in London. Houston Texans versus Atlanta Falcons. I'm picking the Texans to win their third game in a row. I think the Falcons are not that great. I think the Texans are very young and have that dog in them. And moving on, we got Carolina Panthers 0-4 at the Detroit Lions 3-1. Easy pick here, going Lions all the way. Bryce Young and the Panthers are struggling to find their first win. I don't think it's happening this week. Tough matchup for them. Lions should be all over that. Tennessee Titans at the Colts. This is super 50-50. Basically toss a coin. Two sneaky bad teams that don't really have an identity or know what they're doing on either offense or defense. So, like my dad would say, pick the home team. So I'm picking the home team. I'm picking the Colts. New York Giants at Dolphins. Easy bounce back week for the Dolphins after kind of dropping a not so great game to the Bills last week after their 70-point win over the Broncos in week 3. I'm picking the Dolphins. Easy money here. The Giants are horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Saints at Patriots. This is kind of a sneaky pick here. I'm not sold on the Saints. I'm not sold on the Patriots. Mac Jones is terrible. Although I trust Bill Belichick and I don't think he's going to lose a bunch of games in a row. He's back at home again. I think they find a way to sneak this one out against a not-so-great Saints team. Baltimore Ravens at Steelers. Nice AFC North division matchup. Used to be a lot more competitive back in the day. The Ravens should win this easily. No faith in the Steelers whatsoever in this game. Lamar Jackson's looking prime form. He should be totally all over them. They're going to win easy. Eagles at Rams. This is a fun game in LA. Schlabs are going to be watching. Eagles 4-0 taking on the 2-2 Rams. I think this is an easy Eagles pick here. Their fans do travel. They'll be spread all over the SoFi Stadium, and just don't think the Rams have what it takes. I do think it'll be a close game, but the Eagles have shown week after week that they have what it takes to finish and win even close games. So I think they win here. Bengals at Cardinals. Just as much as I want to pick the Cardinals, I can't do it. The Bengals have been screwing me over for weeks, off and on, whether in fantasy or the pick'em. But the moment I pick the Cardinals, the Bengals will absolutely go off, and I'll super regret not picking them. So for that reason, I'm picking the Bengals. Hopefully they can right the ship here with this not-so-great Arizona team. More bad games and teams coming up. New York Jets and Broncos. Both absolutely horrible teams. As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to go with the Broncos here because they're at home, and the Jets just find ways to lose games rather than win games. Zach Wilson has no idea what he's doing at quarterback. The Broncos finally had a good comeback win last week, even though it was against the crappy Bears, but I think they win again here at home. Chiefs at Vikings. Probably thought this was going to be a much better game coming into the season than it is. It'll be competitive, but Chiefs should win easy. No doubt here, even if Minnesota puts up some good numbers. Sunday night game, we got Cowboys at Niners. Really good matchup here. I think it'll be really close. I think the Niners squeak it out at the end, and Dallas either messes something up at the end or the Niners just have a little bit more juice in the tank to finish them off. McCaffrey just looks unstoppable. I got to pick the Niners. Closing it out on this Monday night matchup, we got Packers at Raiders. Hopefully Jimmy G will be back. I have no faith in the Packers still. I'm going to give another shout out pick for Alex Wade, and I'm going to pick the Raiders at home. And that should do it for week 5 picks for the Schlabcast. And this is Hefe signing off.
What's up, guys? It's Andy, aka the Cali Bird from the Schlabcast here, back again to give my Week 5 pick'em. Last week I did pretty well. I believe I went 13-3. As it stands right now, currently in our ESPN pick'em league, Jeff, Caleb, and I are all ranked in the top 4. Alright, just jumping right into Week 5. So starting off with the Thursday night game, we have the Chicago Bears visiting the Washington Commanders. Bears just coming off a narrow loss to the Denver Broncos. It looks like they had it and somehow just let them back into the game. Despite the Bears' 4th loss, I was encouraged by Justin Fields' play, even though it was against the Denver Broncos. I think he will continue to keep the momentum going this Thursday night. However, the Washington Commanders at home might be too much of a tall task. Sitting at 500 right now, they did play the Philadelphia Eagles very competitively this past Sunday. Sam Howell looked pretty good. They took them all the way into overtime. The big thing is going to be the Washington Commanders defense, especially their pass rush. Arguably one of the best defensive lines in the NFL, other than maybe like the Philadelphia Eagles. Having Montez Sweat and Chase Young on the edge with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, having that pass rush could speed up the clock for Justin Fields. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to give it to the Commanders at home. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills technically hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars in Wembley, even though this will be Jacksonville's 2nd game in Wembley back-to-back weeks. While Jacksonville is very familiar with their surroundings there, I think Buffalo Bills are the better team. Jacksonville Jaguars, they got a pretty convincing win against the Falcons, but that's not saying much. Buffalo Bills looked really strong against the Miami Dolphins, trying to reassert their dominance in that AFC East. So I see Buffalo Bills getting the victory here against the Jaguars. Next, we have Houston Texans visiting the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is going to be a close matchup. However, I'm going to actually go with the away team here with CJ Stroud and the Texans. Again, I just like how they've been playing recently. Their team in general has just been trending up, and right now I just see that trend continuing, and I'm going to stick with that. Next, we have Carolina Panthers visiting the Detroit Lions. Currently, as it stands, it looks like Detroit Lions are the heavy favorite at home. I'm going to pick Detroit Lions, but I think Carolina can keep it close. While I am picking the Lions, I just don't get a really good feel or read on this game. That's what makes me leave the door open for the Carolina Panthers. While they are 0-4, I think they are better than that record. I still like the Lions, but this one can be close as well. Tennessee Titans visiting the Indianapolis Colts in an AFC South divisional matchup. Tennessee Titans, while they are the very slight favorites, their offense and the team as a whole has just seemed very bland to me. The Colts are at home, and it looks like they're going to be having a healthy Anthony Richardson as well as possibly a Jonathan Taylor sighting. Due to the home field advantage, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Colts in this one. New York Giants visiting the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins coming off the loss to the Buffalo Bills, and the Giants coming off their Monday night loss to the Seattle Seahawks, where they got absolutely walloped. Daniel Jones was sacked, I believe, at least 10 times. While I don't believe he will be sacked 10 times, I believe that Miami Dolphins have the ability to score 10 touchdowns on the Giants. This seems like a gimme. I got Dolphins by 50. New Orleans Saints visiting the New England Patriots. New Orleans Saints the better overall team, and with another week for Derek Carr to get healthier, I think they will get the victory. Another week with Alvin Kamara in the system. Bill Belichick will do what he can to take away one of their Saints weapons, whether it's Kamara, Olave, but I think overall the Saints just have too many weapons, and I just don't trust the Patriots offense right now. Mac Jones looks very questionable. He's only seemed to regress ever since his rookie year, so I'm not very high on the Patriots offense. Give me the Saints. Baltimore Ravens visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baltimore Ravens coming off a pretty convincing win against the Browns, even though it was against Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a brutal loss to the Houston Texans. Kenny Pickett going out for a while. It looks like, from all reports, that he is going to make an attempt to return for this Week 5 game, even though it is at home. The fact that there is this hesitation and this uncertainty surrounding whether he'll be fully healthy just gives me more worry and concerns about the whole Pittsburgh Steelers offense as a whole. Baltimore Ravens defense has been thriving as of late, so even though they're away, I'm going to give this to the Baltimore Ravens. Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Rams, a game that me and the fellow Schlabs will all be going to this weekend. After 4 weeks of watching the Rams, they definitely aren't rebuilding, and they looked impressive despite missing their best offensive weapon in Cooper Kupp. A lot of that has been due to the success of rookie sensation Puka Nacua. Despite the travel, I think the Eagles are just a better overall team. They're able to win games in different ways, whether it's just grinding out the clock with the run game. If that's not working, they can just pass on you with A.J. Brown for almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. They have a lot of ways to beat you. The defense and special teams is very opportunistic. I like the Eagles in this one, capping it around 10, but would not be surprised if it's a close game. But I do anticipate the Rams keeping this a competitive game. If there are any bettors out there, I personally would put a anytime touchdown bet on Puka Nacua. He just seems like the type of wide receiver that would hurt the Eagles. But give me the Eagles in this matchup. Moving over to the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Arizona Cardinals. I've kind of gone back and forth with this one. Arizona Cardinals have kind of been playing a lot better than people have predicted for a team that was considered one to have tanked. Josh Dobbs has looked pretty good. On the other side, obviously the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow have looked a shell of themselves. Most analysts and everyone did not anticipate the Joe Burrow injury to be affecting him, at least for this long. Who knows how long it's going to be? That being said, it's still hard to bet against Joe Burrow. One more week and give it to the Cincinnati Bengals, but after that, if they can't get it done against the Cardinals, it's going to be looking pretty bleak for them. Next game, we have the New York Jets visiting the Denver Broncos in a game that I was highly anticipating weeks and weeks ago. In a perfect world where the Jets would still have a healthy Aaron Rodgers after all that backlash in the offseason with Sean Payton bashing former Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett, now the Jets offensive coordinator, calling him worst coaching job in the history of the NFL. Was really hoping for Aaron Rodgers' 6-touchdown game. Now we are left with a bleak Zach Wilson, Russell Wilson, low-scoring game. I still like Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets to get their revenge, but I think it's going to be pretty ugly. The fire has been lit ever since Sean Payton made those comments. Jets get the victory. Next we have Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings, while better than their 1-3 record, admittedly, they just are not the Kansas City Chiefs. Not much else to be said. I like the Chiefs in this one. Chiefs also had a little bit of unusual offensive struggles with the Jets. I think they get that ship turned around and they get the victory. Sunday night, we have the Dallas Cowboys visiting the San Francisco 49ers for a classic Sunday night football game. The majority of people are on the San Francisco 49ers, and for good reason. I think this game is going to be a lot closer. I think the Cowboys, they seem to play to their competition a lot. I think they underestimated the Cardinals, but then they turn it around and bash the New England Patriots at home. They will keep it competitive, and I would not be surprised if they get the victory. In fact, I'm even going to be so far as pick them. So this is going to be one of my bigger upsets of the Week 5 Pick'em slate. As of right now, on Wednesday, October 4th, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. Last game of the Week 5 slate, the Green Bay Packers visit the Las Vegas Raiders for Monday Night Football. Surprising to see that majority of people are on the Green Bay Packers. The Raiders looks like they'll be getting back Jimmy Garoppolo. Would like to see, I'm definitely anticipating a Devontae Adams revenge game, and I like the Raiders in this one. That's all I got for my Week 5 Pick'em. Again, my name is Andy, aka the Cali Bird, and be sure to follow and subscribe to the Schlabcast. Peace.
All right, what's up, everyone? Kind of from the cave today for my Week 5 picks. Really looking forward to this week. I think there's a bunch of good stuff on the docket. Getting started off with Thursday, we have the stupid Chicago Bears who blew it for me last week. I thought I was going to get them on their first win of the season. They blow it at the end of the fourth quarter against the even dumber, in my opinion, Broncos. But they're going to the Washington Professional Football Team Commanders. This would be a week for the Bears to win. I don't think they're going to do it, though. I think the Commanders win this one. Probably like a 12 to 14 point game. Moving on. Back to London, the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road, but in London for the second straight week, taking on the Bills. Bills, I think, come in and blow the doors off it. Jacksonville ends their trip on a loss. Meanwhile, Houston's going to be taking on the Falcons. Falcons just lost in London. The Texans are actually a little bit on a roll. I think they continue this, get to a 3-win game streak, and yeah, go Texans, I guess. The Lions are going to be hosting the Panthers. The Panthers are so bad. Even with Bryce Young, I think the Lions take care of business. Pretty easy pick there. This one I'm a little unsure of. A little on the fence. Tennessee traveling to Indianapolis. Think the Colts actually have a little bit of fire with Anthony Richardson. I think he's playing better than a lot of the young quarterbacks in the league right now. So close game, probably a little low scoring too, but give me the Colts in a close one. Dolphins hosting the Giants. Man, they are about as bad as they come. They are a bottom feeder team. The Dolphins are not. They rebound nicely from their loss last week to the Bills. Dolphins big. The Saints will be traveling to the Patriots. Having watched the Patriots just get absolutely ransacked by the Cowboys last week, I don't know what they do well. The Saints, on the other hand, they just need a couple good plays. They got Kamara coming back. They can tag on points pretty quick if they just get off to a hot start, which I think they will against the Patriots. So give me the Saints. Ravens traveling to the Steelers. I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to be in, so give me the Ravens. Even then, the Steelers they might have peaked early in the season. We'll see. Time will tell. Eagles traveling to the Rams. The Schlabcast is going to be there. I will be there for this game. I think the Eagles pulled this one out. Would love to see the Rams do it anyway. But I think the Eagles win this one. Cardinals are going to be hosting the Bengals. I have no idea what to make of the Bengals. I think the Cardinals play tough. They're just kind of young and inexperienced. Probably should be 2-2. Can't believe the Giants beat them. I think I'm going to take them. I think I take the Cardinals over the Bengals. Until Joe Burrow can make a, completion 20 yards down the field, they are limited. Jets are going to be traveling to the Broncos. I can see why people pick the Broncos being at home. The Jets defense, though, is for real. They keep the Broncos to low teen numbers, I bet. Maybe Jets win 2013. Chiefs, Vikings. This is going to be that Chiefs game where they score like 40 points pretty, easily and untouched. People are just like, oh, yeah, that's the Chiefs team I remember. I think it's this week against the Vikings. Give me Chiefs big. Finally, we get to the Sunday night game. Cowboys traveling to the Niners. Obviously, I want to pick the Cowboys, but I'm in first place in the donkey pool right now. 2 games up on Hefe. And I got to go with what the analytics tell me. And if we were playing in Dallas, I'd take them. Traveling to that soggy field in San Francisco is not even San Francisco, in Santa Clara is going to be tough for us, I think. So I think the Niners actually pulled that one out. And finally, Monday night, Packers traveling to the Raiders. Not sure if Jimmy G's playing. I think he is, but Packers have been looking pretty good. Jordan Love's had a nice season for himself. He's really shut up a lot of critics. I don't think it's a very high scoring game. Maybe like I don't even know, like a 2018, something weird like that, 21-17 game. But I think Packers pulled this one off. And that's my week 5 picks. Again, I'm in first place in the donkey pool. I had a nice week last week, even though some of my upset picks didn't come through. We're spoiled right at the end, but looking forward to it. Looking forward to going to the Eagles game with my buddies. And as always, other side, go Cowboys. Yes.